Well, hard to believe, but the school year is just around the corner. And bullying is being addressed more and more in school. This morning, we're fortunate enough to be joined by international activist and author Gabriella van Rij.
And she's here to tell us how we can prepare and bully-proof their children for this upcoming school year. She also has a new book out. It's called With All of My Might.
Welcome so much. We love having you here. Yeah. So first of all, you have such an interesting background. You grew up in Pakistan. You were adopted by a Dutch family.
Yes, I was.
And you were the victim of bullying.
Absolutely, because I stood out and I didn't know where to fit in or where to belong. And one of the things you do as a child is you try to conform to the group because you desperately want to fit in. And we can't blame any child for doing that. Mm-hmm. And at a certain point, you have to be you, and you have to kind of figure out who you are. Mm-hmm. And so bullying, we didn't call it bullying back then.
Right.
We called it harassment,
yeah.
And you had to toughen it up, and my parents said it will go away, but it never really did. And the reason that I'm so hot about this subject is I'm so sad about suicide rates. Mm. And I think that's what sets apart the past, the 20 years ago for me, and today. I mean, I hear about suicides nonstop.
And how do you define bullying?
Bullying for me is an extreme form of meanness. Mm. I mean, it really is. But it goes so far that it goes beyond the school, into social media. So the child, in my opinion, gets totally paralyzed and cannot live a normal life. And I think that even though we try to teach our children human kindness, I think all of us do not know what that really means because we seem to have dropped the ball on that.
Mm. You know, it's so interesting. In our Parents' Day, you heard about schoolyard bullying, the bully
yes.
on the schoolyard.
Yeah, for me, it was like that.
And it wasn't, I mean, it was hurtful and it was mean and it affected the children. But now I feel like we're hearing stories constantly of, like you mentioned, children committing suicide and now more transforming into the social media. It's carrying off the playground mm-hmm. and it's constant through social media.
But, for example, nobody told me that I wasn't worth living when I was at school. And I have a feeling that we've gone beyond the meanness. We tell children that they're worth nothing. So how do you deal with that? How do you truly go home and actually not only admit the humiliation to your parents, but say that another child told you to commit suicide, that you're worthy of nothing? And I think that's where I would like to start in education and awareness and in the warning signs, because I think that parents are clueless about what's happening on Facebook and Twitter. Mm-hmm. And I think there are really good programs out there, technical programs. And it's so funny, when I talk to the parents, you know what they say? I don't want to spy on my child. Mm. I don't think it's spying.
No.
Honest, because these programs don't, I mean, you don't want to know everything they say. I mean, honest. But, but these programs go for keywords, like really slur words
right.
and bad things that would pick out. And then at least you as a parent would be aware that the child was called a bad name.
Right.
And then you could kind of intervene and say, who is this friend? Mm-hmm. Or is it a friend?
And you talk about steps in your book. First
yes.
step, trying to eradicate bullying. How do we take that first step?
For me, it's a beautiful sentence. Become an active witness. Mm. I don't think we know what that means. And I came to that conclusion because bystander is not a word that children understand. So I was trying to figure out how can I make them understand. And so an active witness is all of us. It's me, it's your friends at school, it's your parents and the educators. We see it. Remember the bus monitor? Mm-hmm. It's seen. The bus chauffeur right. saw that. The driver saw that day after day.
Yeah.
But he decided to stay quiet. Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean. Let's up it. Let's show the children. Let us adults show the children that we have value, that we stand for something. It's difficult to stand up, but you have to.
Especially when you hear cases about parents getting involved
yes.
in it.
Yes. This is... the other day, I wanted a child to read my new book. And so the parents told me afterwards that when they read about the bullying part, they said a lot had to do with the parents too, because some parents go instantly to the source and say, it's not okay what my child did. I am so sorry, right here, right now, right. This stops. And I think that if we had more of that, we would not have the escalation that we have. Because the child that doesn't tell it, that doesn't tell their parents, doesn't tell an educator, it's really funny. When you get bullied, I always thought it will go away. If I do my best and show that I'm a really good person, it will go away. It doesn't. And the funny part is, or actually totally sad, is when I go into schools, the child tells me, it will go away. And I said, no, it won't.
Yeah. And it's a horrible feeling. I remember in school, a bigger kid was always picking on me, and it gets to the point where you're terrified to walk down a hallway or to go to that part of the school where you were. It's like a feeling in the pit of your stomach.
You can't function with fear.
Yeah.
You really can't. And it's more than the fear. That child is so isolated. But again, one of the ways to eradicate this is not only with the victim, because what we do is vilify the bully and we punish the bully. What's going to happen for me, really? If we bully, we punish the bully, it's only temporary fix.
Temporary fix.
We got to put those two together with counselors. We got to show them that they both have fear. If we could show the victim that the bully is as fearful as the victim, a world would open up.
Well, for more information about Gabriella van Rij and her book, With All My Might, just go to KCAL9.com and click on Seen on TV. And we want to thank you so much for being here, Gabriella. Really wonderful interview and an important topic to deal with.
Excellent. And hopefully a lot of people take a lot of your advice home.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We appreciate it.
Thank you.